Social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Grace and peace, everybody. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. Let's get at it. We all have seen it. We all have seen this, had this experience where we have a friend who's so far removed from other people's experiences that they say things that are just totally insane. It could be someone they're so wealthy that they look at other people and say, well, why don't you just buy a jet, or something ignorant like that, or somebody who's so opulent that they don't realize that they're homeless people and people who are not fed. They're just clueless. They're just clueless. And a lot of the times it's because they've spent so much time in their space, so much time in this environment that they've lost common sense. I've been around rich people so long, I don't even realize, because all my friends are rich. I have this mindset because all my friends have this mindset. It usually takes a little bit of time, just a little bit of time. Well, today we're going to look at somebody, you're like, how did you get this ignorant? How did you get so? And I'm going to point out a couple of instances. What this woman says in this very short clip literally goes against the party that she supports. That's how it's kind of fascinating, really. It really is. Let me bring it in. We got Judge Ketanji Brown, and I know she's liberals, she's the liberals, savior. But listen to this statement.
And I guess I'm struggling to see how it burdens a parent's religious exercise if the school teaches something that the parent disagrees with. You have a choice. You don't have to send your kid to that school. You can put them in another situation. And I guess
we're going to take it and kind of go slow through it. But let me pull it. I'm kind of taken aback. Like, how are you this obtuse? So what does she say here? I'm struggling to see how it burdens parents' religious exercise if the school teaches something the parents disagree with. You have a choice. You don't have to send your kid to that school. I'm going to start with the most glaring. I think most of us see the most glaring. This is the party that's against school choice. This is a matter of school choice. And your party's against that, Ms. Brown. Like, are you that far removed from the debate that you don't realize that the party that supported you, the party that placed you on Supreme Court, is the party that's against school choice? You do realize that, right? I hope that's not new revelation for you. But even more than that, how are you so obtuse that you don't see that a parent's religious exercise, if it is in fact runs afoul of the school, that there's a problem there? How is that a revelation knowledge to you? Why is that something that you said, what do you say here? That you're struggling to see how it burdens the parent's religious exercise. How are you so obtuse? Maybe you were this obtuse before, because again, you were the woman that could not define what a woman was in your Supreme Court judge hearing. You weren't able to define that. And that's where the infamous, really, I mean, I hate to say it, Ketanji Brown, you actually kicked off a lot of this discussion about what is a woman, because you couldn't define a woman. So you definitely were the mascot, if you will. So here, are you honestly telling me that you don't see what the problem is? If I, as a parent, don't want my child taught something that runs afoul of my religious beliefs, do I really need to tell you that? But remember now, I know the boule gonna jump into the chat and tell me how, she's a strong Christian woman. She holds strong religious belief. Okay, if that's what you want to believe, you just keep lying to yourself. Here, we're gonna listen to it one more time, and then we're gonna jump into Hellcat and let's see these comments. Let's go.
I'm struggling to see how it burdens a parent's religious exercise if the school teaches something that the parent disagrees with. You have a choice. You don't have to send your kid to that school. You can put them in another situation. And I guess I'm struggling to see how...
We really can't. Let's jump into the Hellcat. Let's go. Look what this Yahoo said right here. I am old enough to remember telling them that a woman who couldn't define a woman was just a few steps from this. Those were the days. I like that. That was kind of funny. Well done. If you don't like it, you don't have to send your kids, but you still have to pay for it. And you also have to pay to send your kids somewhere else. If not, we'll jail you for truancy. What kind of argument is this? Shout out to this person right there. Well, there it is, parents. You can either let your kids be read inappropriate content by an inappropriate person, or you can go pay $5,000 a month for a private school. Welcome to America. I don't think it's $5,000 a month. It wasn't $5,000 for my kids, but I know what he's saying. Is she technically correct? Yes. However, we know that she wouldn't hold that position in the public schools openly taught religious Christian beliefs such as creationism as they once did. She'd make the argument that non-Christians shouldn't be exposed to ideas that violate their beliefs. Oh, let's see. Shout out. Violate their beliefs when sending their kids to a public school. Now, that is 100% correct. She would definitely, unequivocally quash my opportunity to share my religious beliefs in school. Ketanji Brown will forever be a fake justice chosen by a fake president. Shout out to her. This person says she's right on this. Homeschool or private school for your kids. I don't think she's right. Well, what do you think about this? She's right on this one. Homeschool or private school your kids. Okay, I kind of get what he's saying. You know what? I take that back. Yeah, I take that back. He's on the money. I'll give you that. What does this person say? Kareem Baldwin says, she's right. Move if you don't like what the schools are doing. The Supreme Court shouldn't be involved. This is a local school issue. Wait. Move. See, this is what I'm saying. You're so far removed that you eventually start saying stuff that's ludicrous. So because let's say that there's somebody who's in a poor neighborhood. They themselves are not very affluent. They can just move. That's what I'm saying. You eventually get to a point where you just say things that are absurd. No, that was not cool, my guy. Brilliant legal insight from Ketanji Brown Jackson. Well, just pull your kids out of the school, right? Because public school funding by your taxes should be hostile to your values. And your only option is to shut up and leave. This is ideologically gaslighting dressed up in a robe. Shout out to Jane Addams. I like that one. Let's do this last one. We do not have a choice not to pay for it. That broad is dumb as a box of rocks. All right. I like it. What do y'all think? Do you agree with Ketanji here when she says, you don't like it? You got a choice. What do you think? In the comments, let me know where you stand, where you land on this. I really appreciate it. I do also appreciate everybody who supported this channel. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for helping us hit our goal of 50,000 subscribers by the end of April. We still going to trudge on. So I really appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Thank you so much for tapping in. And in the meantime and in between time, everybody, grace and peace.